Sometimes, have you ever wondered why your heart suddenly races? Why a familiar sound sends a chill through your body? Or why a single scent can pull you back into a distant memory? There is a mind working quietly beneath your awareness. A hidden storyteller shaping your thoughts, guiding your fears, and learning even while you sleep. This video is a gentle doorway into that silent inner world, where dreams, instincts, and emotions whisper beneath the surface of consciousness. So slow down, let your thoughts soften, and listen closely to the quiet voice of your subconscious mind. Tonight, let us drift gently together into the hidden world of the mind, a vast and quiet landscape that hums beneath every thought, every feeling, every fleeting dream. Welcome to Dreamy Science Stories, where we wander slowly through the deep architectures of reality and the soft mysteries of being human. As you settle in, perhaps lying back and letting the day dissolve like mist at dawn, imagine the mind as an ocean at night. On the surface, there are ripples of conscious thought, worries, plans, passing images. But far below, in the unseen depths, something immense is always moving. That deeper realm is the subconscious. It never sleeps. It never truly rests. It is an ancient, tireless presence shaping who you are, what you feel, and how you dream. Scientists tell us that nearly everything we do is touched by this hidden layer of the mind. It remembers what the waking mind forgets. It learns while the body sleeps. It notices patterns and dangers long before awareness catches up. In many ways, it is the silent pilot of your life, guiding you through each moment with quiet precision, like a star chart guiding a ship across dark cosmic seas. If you enjoy these gentle journeys, you can like, subscribe, or share a quiet thought in the comments. Each small action helping another wandering mind find its way here. But for now, there is nowhere to go and nothing to do. Let the world soften. Let time stretch and slow. Tonight, we begin a long, unhurried voyage into the mind. A surprisingly large portion of the brain is devoted to processes that never rise into awareness. Neuroscientists often estimate that only a tiny fraction, perhaps 5%, of mental activity ever reaches the conscious surface. The remaining 95% unfolds silently, like deep tectonic movements beneath the crust of thought. This unseen realm manages an astonishing range of functions. It keeps your heart beating in rhythmic waves, your lungs breathing in gentle cycles, your body balanced and upright without effort. It organizes memories like a librarian in a vast, dim archive, sorting sensations, emotions, and experiences into hidden shelves. It interprets the flood of sensory information pouring in from the world and quietly guides behavior, nudging you toward choices that feel deliberate, but may have been shaped long before awareness arrived. To realize that most of your mental life unfolds in this hidden territory is both humbling and wondrous. The conscious mind, the voice that reads these words, that worries and plans and reflects, is only a narrow window onto a much larger landscape. Beneath it lies a living system that never stops working, steering you through reality with silent efficiency. It is like standing on the surface of the ocean and suddenly understanding that beneath your feet lies an entire moving planet of currents, ecosystems, and ancient rhythms. Your subconscious can begin preparing decisions before you ever feel them arise. Choice feels immediate. You weigh options, you decide, you act. Yet experiments in neuroscience have revealed something quietly astonishing. Brain scans sometimes show patterns of activity several seconds before participants report making a conscious choice. In other words, the decision begins its journey in the depths of the mind, long before the conscious narrator steps in to announce it. This discovery does not erase free will, but it reshapes how we imagine it. Perhaps the conscious mind is less a commander and more a storyteller, gently announcing decisions that have already been set in motion by deeper currents. The subconscious gathers cues from memory, experience, and emotion, threads woven across a lifetime, and hands the outcome upward like a finished tapestry. To you, The choice feels spontaneous, immediate, personal. But beneath the surface, it has been unfolding quietly, like a constellation forming in the night sky long before anyone looks up. This suggests that the roots of our actions stretch far deeper than awareness, hidden in a realm we can sense only indirectly, like gravity shaping galaxies we never see. The subconscious never truly shuts down. Even when you fall asleep, when the conscious mind drifts into darkness, the deeper systems remain awake, vigilant, and quietly busy. While you sleep, the subconscious listens to the world, ready to wake you at the faintest sign of danger. It sorts through the day's experiences, deciding which memories to strengthen and which to let fade like footprints in sand. It rehearses skills you practice during the day, strengthening neural pathways in silence, refining movements, and polishing knowledge. Dreams rise from this activity, strange, poetic stories woven from fragments of thought, emotion, and memory, echoing unresolved concerns and secret hopes. Meanwhile, the body continues its silent maintenance. Heart rate, breathing, and temperature regulation flow on without pause, guided by hidden neural circuits that evolved long before language, long before civilization, long before names for the stars. Sleep, then, is not an activity. It is a shift of labor. The conscious mind withdraws, and the subconscious takes over the night watch, ensuring survival, memory, and balance continue. When you wake, you emerge subtly transformed, skills refined, emotions recalibrated, memories reorganized. Sleep may feel like silence, but beneath it all, the subconscious hums like a distant cosmic engine, never switching off, never resting, echoing through deep time. Most of your lifelong habits are stored in the subconscious, etched into neural pathways by repetition. Once an action is practiced enough, it slips beneath awareness and becomes automatic. You tie your shoes, brush your teeth, or drive a familiar road without conscious effort, guided by patterns laid down quietly over years. This transfer of routines saves precious mental energy, freeing the conscious mind to explore new challenges, new ideas, new worlds. But it also means that habits, both gentle and harmful, can become deeply rooted. The subconscious does not judge. It simply follows the grooves carved by repetition, like water flowing through ancient riverbeds. To change a habit is to carve a new channel, slowly, patiently, through the landscape of the brain. Each repetition reshapes the terrain, forming new paths that can eventually become just as automatic as the old ones. In this way, the subconscious is both conservative and creative, resistant to change yet endlessly capable of transformation. Every ritual, every routine, is evidence of this quiet scriptwriter working behind the scenes, composing the rhythms of daily life. The subconscious processes an ocean of signals, while the conscious mind notices only a trickle. At any given moment, you might be aware of a few sensations: the sound of a voice, the warmth of a blanket, the rhythm of your breath. Yet beneath this narrow spotlight, the subconscious is processing millions of signals at once. It tracks movement in your peripheral vision, filters background sounds, monitors posture and balance, adjusts hunger and temperature, and modulates pain. It gathers data from every corner of the body and environment, preparing responses long before awareness could possibly catch up. Imagine standing in a bustling crowd. Voices overlap, footsteps echo, scents mingle in the air. Your conscious mind hears only what it focuses on, but the subconscious quietly registers nearly everything, ready to alert you if something truly matters. Consciousness is a narrow beam of light, while the subconscious is the entire theater, moving scenery, adjusting lights, keeping the performance alive in silence. In this sense, your waking awareness is just the visible tip of an immense iceberg of processing, drifting through the vast sea of experience. Early childhood experiences are etched deeply into the subconscious, forming emotional landscapes that last a lifetime. In the earliest years, the brain is forming connections at extraordinary speed, wiring itself in response to comfort, fear, warmth, and uncertainty. These experiences are encoded not in words, but in patterns, subtle emotional signatures that shape how you feel, trust, and respond long after memories fade. Most adults cannot consciously remember infancy or early toddlerhood, yet those years live on beneath awareness. A child soothed in distress may grow into an adult with a quiet sense of safety in the world. A child exposed to instability may carry hidden anxieties that surface later without obvious cause. Psychologists sometimes call these emotional imprints, silent inscriptions written into the architecture of the brain. The subconscious becomes a kind of hidden diary, filled with pages you cannot read, but that still guide how you react, how you bond, how you perceive love, danger, and belonging. In this way, your earliest moments continue to echo through your life, like distant starlight traveling across billions of years to reach you now. The subconscious is also faster at detecting threats than conscious thought, a legacy of deep evolutionary time. Long before language and philosophy, survival depended on speed. When a shadow moved unexpectedly or a shape resembled a predator, the subconscious triggered instant reactions, muscles tightening, heart racing, adrenaline surging, before the conscious mind could even ask a question. These rapid responses arise from ancient brain circuits shaped by millions of years of evolution. Conscious analysis comes later, labeling the threat and deciding what to do. Sometimes this leads to false alarms, mistaking a stick for a snake or a shadow for danger. But evolution favored speed over accuracy. The cost of overreacting was small compared to the cost of being too slow. In this way, the subconscious acts as an ancient guardian, a sentinel forged by deep time to protect you faster than thought itself. Its first priority is survival, not precision, a reminder that beneath modern consciousness, we still carry echoes of our ancestors walking under primeval skies. Creative insights often rise from these hidden depths, appearing suddenly like comets in the night. A melody emerges in a dream. A scientific breakthrough arrives during a quiet walk. A solution surfaces in the shower, when the mind seems relaxed and unfocused. These moments are often the product of subconscious processing. While the conscious mind struggles with a problem, the deeper mind continues weaving connections in silence, drawing from memory, emotion, and experience. It links distant ideas, explores hidden patterns, and waits patiently for the moment when a connection becomes clear enough to rise into awareness. In these moments, it can feel as though inspiration comes from nowhere. Yet it has been forming quietly, like a galaxy slowly assembling from drifting clouds of cosmic dust. The subconscious is not just a guardian and a caretaker. It is also an artist, a scientist, a quiet explorer of inner universes, constantly mapping the unknown terrain of possibility. And so, as we drift deeper into this hidden world, remember that your conscious thoughts are only the surface of a much larger story. Beneath them lies an ancient, living system shaped by evolution, experience, and deep time. A silent universe within, forever working, forever dreaming, forever guiding you through the vast mystery of existence. When the hidden pattern is complete, it rises gently into awareness, like a constellation finally bright enough to be seen against the night sky. What once felt like confusion suddenly becomes clarity. A solution appears. A melody arrives. A sentence forms itself in the mind. Psychologists call this incubation, the quiet period when stepping away from a problem allows the subconscious to continue working in silence. Artists, writers, and inventors have long trusted this invisible process. They walk, they sleep, they daydream, and somewhere beneath the surface, their minds continue weaving connections. Then, without warning, the answer blooms into consciousness, as if gifted from nowhere. Yet it was never nowhere. It was the subconscious speaking in a language too quiet for awareness to hear until the moment was right. Creativity, in many ways, Is the conscious mind finally listening to what the deeper self has been whispering all along, across the slow corridors of time and thought? Not all signals are strong enough to rise into awareness. Some slip beneath the threshold of consciousness, touching the subconscious without ever announcing themselves. An image flashed for a fraction of a second, a word spoken too softly to notice, a faint scent drifting through a room. These can all be registered quietly by the subconscious. These are called subliminal cues. Though you may never notice them, they can subtly influence mood, preference, and perception. A barely audible background sound might increase alertness. A faint aroma could spark a craving or a sense of comfort without explanation. Experiments suggest that these unnoticed details can shape behavior, though never with absolute control. They are gentle nudges, not commands, like cosmic dust that slowly alters the course of a drifting comet over millions of years. Life then is filled with invisible threads, weaving into the fabric of thought and feeling. Even when you believe you have ignored something, part of you has quietly recorded it, storing it in the hidden archives of the mind, ready to color emotions and choices long after the moment has passed. The face, too, is guided by the subconscious in ways that words cannot hide. In fleeting instants, less than a blink, tiny flashes of emotion appear. A twitch of anger, a flicker of fear, a spark of joy. These are micro-expressions, too brief for conscious control, yet rich with truth. They are remnants of an ancient emotional language, evolved long before spoken words, when survival depended on instantly reading the feelings of others. A forced smile may hide irritation, but a momentary tightening around the eyes tells another story. These expressions often pass unnoticed, yet they shape every interaction, every silent exchange of understanding. In every conversation, there are two stories unfolding. One is spoken in words, shaped by conscious intent. The other is written in fleeting expressions, a subconscious narrative flickering across the face like signals from distant stars, brief, revealing, and impossible to fully conceal. Your posture, too, often shifts before you recognize what you are feeling. When anxiety rises, shoulders may tense and curl inward. When confidence or joy appears, the chest opens, the chin lifts. These changes are orchestrated by the subconscious, translating inner states into physical signals that others can read without words. And sometimes the direction flows the other way. Adjusting posture can influence emotion. Standing tall, relaxing the shoulders, breathing deeply. These actions can send signals back to the subconscious, creating feelings of calm or confidence. The body and subconscious are engaged in a continuous dialogue, a feedback loop as ancient as life itself. We do not simply feel and then act. The subconscious weaves emotion and movement into a single language, constantly translating the unseen into subtle gestures, shaping how you move through the world like tides, shaping a shoreline over deep time. Even in moments of relaxation, when you are sipping a drink or gazing into the distance, part of your mind remains on silent watch. The subconscious continuously scans your surroundings for danger. A sudden movement, a shift in sound, a flicker in the corner of your eye. These can trigger attention before you know why. This vigilance is an inheritance from deep evolutionary history. For countless generations, survival depended on noticing threats before it was too late. Though modern life is safer, the ancient watchman remains, filtering every sound, every shadow, every unexpected change. Sometimes you feel this as a faint unease, or the sense of being watched. It is the subconscious alarm system, always humming, always alert, like a guardian stationed beneath the stars, scanning the darkness for approaching signals. A reminder that part of you is forever tuned to survival, carrying echoes of ancestors who once walked beneath primeval skies. Intuition, those mysterious gut feelings, often arises from subconscious pattern recognition. It can feel like a whisper from beyond logic, yet it is deeply grounded in experience. The subconscious absorbs countless details, storing patterns the conscious mind forgets. When you encounter a new situation, it compares the present moment against a vast internal archive, detecting subtle similarities and issuing a signal that feels like instinct. A doctor may sense a diagnosis before conscious reasoning can explain it. A chess master may know the best move instantly, without calculating every possibility. The conscious mind cannot describe the reasoning because it was never part of the computation. What feels like magic is simply the subconscious working faster and deeper than deliberate thought. Sometimes intuition is wrong, but often it is astonishingly accurate because it draws on a lifetime of hidden knowledge. It is the subconscious speaking in sensations, quietly guiding you through complexity, like a star guiding travelers across an uncharted sea. Smell has a unique and powerful pathway into the subconscious. A single scent can unlock memories with breathtaking force. The aroma of a childhood meal, a familiar perfume, the scent of rain on warm pavement. These can transport you instantly across decades, collapsing time into a single breath. This happens because the olfactory system is closely linked to brain regions that handle memory and emotion. Unlike other senses, smell bypasses many conscious filters, sending signals directly into the subconscious. As a result, emotions often surface before you can identify their origin. Comfort, nostalgia, unease, feelings bloom like echoes from a forgotten world. Scientists sometimes refer to this as the Proust phenomenon, named after the writer who described memories flooding back through taste and smell. These links reveal how deeply sensory experiences are etched into the brain, preserved like fossils in neural stone, waiting quietly until a familiar aroma drifts past and awakens a long silent past. Muscle memory, too, lives in the subconscious. Riding a bicycle, typing on a keyboard, playing an instrument, these complex skills become effortless through repetition. The instructions are embedded in neural circuits, allowing the body to move with precision without conscious effort. Athletes and musicians often describe entering a state of flow, where the conscious mind fades and performance unfolds automatically. The muscles themselves do not remember, the brain does. Hidden networks coordinate movement so smoothly that it feels instinctive, like breathing or blinking. Even after years without practice, these patterns can persist. Picking up a bicycle after decades often feels strangely familiar, as if the body remembers a forgotten language. It is a testament to the subconscious as a guardian of skill and memory, preserving learned actions like ancient scripts etched into the architecture of the mind. In moments of high performance, the subconscious takes the lead. A tennis player returns a serve traveling at astonishing speed. A goalkeeper dives in less than a heartbeat. There is no time for conscious deliberation. These feats depend on subconscious reflexes, trained through countless hours of practice. Neural circuits become automatic routines, bypassing hesitation and conscious thought. Athletes often describe reacting without thinking, as if something deeper took control. This is not mystical, it is neurological. The subconscious handles split-second timing, while the conscious mind follows, narrating what has already happened. It is a partnership shaped by evolution and practice. Speed belongs to the subconscious, reflection belongs to consciousness. Together, they form a seamless dance, like two celestial bodies orbiting each other across the vast expanse of time. Dreams may be the subconscious experimenting with unresolved ideas, weaving together fragments of memory, fear, desire, and imagination. In sleep, the mind loosens the constraints of logic, allowing symbols and stories to emerge like strange constellations in a night sky unbound by daylight rules. A stressful event may replay in symbolic form. An unsolved problem may appear as a metaphorical journey. Hidden wishes and quiet anxieties surface as landscapes, characters, and impossible scenarios. Some theories suggest that dreams are the subconscious rehearsing reality, testing possibilities, and integrating emotion with memory. In dreams, time bends. Past and future mingle. The self dissolves and reforms. It is as though the subconscious becomes a storyteller, exploring the unresolved threads of existence, searching for meaning in the vast, silent theater of the sleeping brain. And as you drift deeper into this inner universe, remember that every dream, every intuition, every subtle shift of posture is part of an ancient conversation between consciousness and the hidden mind, a conversation that has been unfolding since the dawn of humanity, and perhaps since the first flicker of awareness in the universe itself. During dreaming, the subconscious becomes wonderfully free, unbound by logic, responsibility, or the rigid structures of waking life. As the body rests and the conscious mind loosens its grip, the hidden mind begins to wander. It tests scenarios that reality would never allow, merges distant ideas into surreal landscapes, and explores possibilities the waking mind would dismiss as impossible. Some scientists believe this nightly journey plays a crucial role in emotional regulation, memory consolidation, and creative problem solving. Experiences are sorted, emotions softened, connections strengthened. The strange imagery of dreams, the flying cities, the shifting faces, the impossible journeys, are the subconscious speaking in symbols. It reshuffles the puzzle pieces of life, searching for meaning in patterns too complex for daylight logic. Not every dream carries a secret message, and many are simply echoes of daily impressions. Yet even these fleeting visions offer glimpses into the subconscious at work. They remind us that even in the deepest sleep, the hidden mind is awake, quietly processing the unfinished stories of your existence, stitching them into the vast tapestry of who you are. Hypnosis offers a rare window into this hidden landscape, a way to communicate more directly with the subconscious. In a hypnotic state, the conscious mind softens its usual defenses, and deeper layers of the mind become more accessible. Suggestions can bypass habitual resistance, influencing perception, sensation, and even behavior. Hypnosis has been used to reduce pain, ease phobias, and reshape habits by gently speaking to subconscious patterns. People under hypnosis often remain aware, but their attention narrows, like a telescope focusing on a distant star. In this focused state, the subconscious becomes more receptive, more willing to explore alternative pathways. Popular culture often portrays hypnosis as mind control, but in reality, it is more like a guided conversation with the deeper self. The subconscious does not surrender control, it opens a door. Through that doorway, patterns can be adjusted, fears softened, and habits reshaped. Hypnosis reveals that beneath awareness lies a flexible system, capable of change when addressed in its own quiet language. Before a word ever leaves your lips, the subconscious has already been at work. Speech feels spontaneous, as though sentences arise fully formed in consciousness. Yet the brain prepares words milliseconds before you become aware of them, checking grammar, tone, and social appropriateness in silence. Most of this editing happens invisibly. Only occasionally does a slip of the tongue reveal the hidden machinery. A word spoken too soon, a thought accidentally voiced. These errors are glimpses behind the curtain, showing the subconscious author drafting and revising language in real time. It is a remarkable system that allows humans to speak fluidly, without consciously planning every syllable. Speech flows because the subconscious is constantly composing, refining, and releasing words, like a quiet writer working at impossible speed, ensuring communication never falters. The placebo effect offers a powerful demonstration of subconscious belief shaping the body. When someone takes a sugar pill believing it is medicine, real physical changes can occur. Pain diminishes, anxiety eases, brain chemistry shifts. The subconscious accepts the expectation of healing and transmits that expectation into physiology. Even when people consciously know a pill is inert, ritual and trust can still trigger subconscious responses. Belief becomes a biological signal, activating natural systems of relief and recovery. The placebo effect shows that health is not purely mechanical. It is woven from thought, expectation, and physiology, united in a delicate feedback loop. In this way, the subconscious reaches beyond emotion and habit into the chemistry of the body itself. Thought becomes matter. Expectation becomes healing. The mind and body meet in a quiet dialogue science is still learning to understand. Every moment of your life, the subconscious keeps you alive. It regulates heartbeat, breathing, blood pressure, digestion, and countless other processes without conscious effort. These functions belong to the autonomic nervous system, guided largely by subconscious circuits that evolved long before awareness as we know it. If you had to consciously control every breath or heartbeat, existence would be impossible. Instead, the subconscious runs these programs flawlessly in the background, like an unseen caretaker tending the rhythms of life. Yet there is a gentle bridge between conscious and subconscious control. Slow breathing can calm the heart. Meditation can lower blood pressure. The conscious mind can occasionally lean in, touching the controls without taking over entirely. This balance between awareness and automation ensures survival. The subconscious stands as the tireless guardian of life's essential rhythms, keeping the body aligned with the quiet pulse of existence. The eyes, often called windows to the soul, are guided by subconscious processes in subtle ways. Eye movements can reveal emotions and mental states without conscious intention. Rapid darting may signal nervousness. Steady focus can reflect determination. Certain eye directions have been associated with memory access, as the brain retrieves information from different regions. Pupil size changes automatically, widening with attraction or interest, narrowing with stress or discomfort. These shifts happen too quickly for deliberate control, yet they communicate volumes to others. Humans instinctively trust the eyes, sensing truth in what they reveal beyond words. Every glance, blink, and dilation forms part of an unspoken language, a silent broadcast of inner states. The subconscious shapes attention and emotion, leaving its signature in the smallest movements, revealing what the conscious mind may choose not to say. The eerie sensation of déjà vu may arise from subtle errors in subconscious memory processing. One moment, you feel as though you have lived this exact scene before, the same words, the same light, the same feeling. One theory suggests that sensory information briefly takes the wrong neural pathway, causing the subconscious to treat a new experience as a memory. Another proposes that the subconscious detects a similarity to a forgotten event, triggering familiarity without context. Conscious awareness interprets this as recognition without explanation, creating a strange and unsettling feeling. Déjà vu reveals how delicately memory and perception are intertwined. It shows that the subconscious manages vast archives of experience behind the scenes, and sometimes its processes misfire, producing illusions that feel profound and mysterious, like echoes from a parallel timeline. Phobias live deep within subconscious fear circuits. A person with a fear of spiders may panic at the sight of even a harmless one. Someone with a fear of flying may feel terror before boarding a plane, despite knowing it is safe. These reactions are not chosen. They arise automatically from deeply ingrained neural pathways. Phobias often stem from past experiences or inherited warning systems shaped by evolution. The subconscious reacts as if danger is present, flooding the body with fear, adrenaline, and urgency. Therapy often works by gently retraining the subconscious through gradual exposure, teaching it that the feared object is not truly dangerous. Until then, the subconscious continues its protective response, even when protection is unnecessary. Phobias reveal the enduring power of subconscious memory, showing how deeply fear can be embedded beneath awareness, echoing through the mind like ancient alarms. Not every alarm raised by the subconscious is accurate. Sometimes it misinterprets harmless cues as threats. A creak in the house at night may spark unease. A stranger's glance may feel hostile. These reactions come from systems designed to favor caution over certainty. Evolution shaped the brain to prefer false alarms over missed dangers. Better to mistake a shadow for a predator than to ignore a real threat. This bias means the subconscious often errs on the side of fear. Over time, repeated false alarms can contribute to anxiety, where neutral cues trigger constant vigilance. Yet this system exists because it worked. Human survival depended on caution, on sensitivity to the slightest change in the environment. The subconscious may overreact, but in doing so, it ensures readiness, keeping the body prepared even when the conscious mind insists there is nothing to fear. Humor, too, may arise from subconscious recognition of surprise. Laughter often bursts forth without conscious planning, triggered by an unexpected twist, a clever mismatch, a sudden violation of expectation. Many scientists believe the subconscious detects these surprises first, signaling delight or relief before conscious understanding catches up. A joke unfolds, the punchline arrives, and laughter emerges almost instantly. Beneath that laughter, the subconscious has detected a pattern broken and restored, a tension released. In this way, humor becomes a small celebration of prediction and surprise, a brief ripple of joy across the vast, quiet ocean of the mind. And as we continue drifting through this inner universe, remember that every dream, every intuition, every laugh, and every fleeting sensation is part of an ancient dialogue between consciousness and the hidden mind. A dialogue unfolding across your lifetime and across the long, silent history of human thought beneath the endless stars. The conscious mind then interprets a joke as funny, but the reaction often begins far deeper, in a quiet place where surprise is detected before understanding arrives. This is why a joke loses its power once it becomes predictable. The subconscious must be startled, gently shocked by the unexpected twist, in order to release laughter. Even tickling may work in part because it hijacks this system, surprising the body with sensations it cannot anticipate. Humor, in this sense, is a small celebration of discovery. The subconscious delights in finding patterns, then watching them break and reform in surprising ways. Laughter ripples through the body like a cosmic echo, a brief shimmer of joy in the vast night of the mind. It reminds us that even the hidden layers of consciousness carry playfulness, curiosity, and delight, tiny sparks of wonder in the long evolutionary story of awareness. When you recognize a familiar face in a crowd, it feels effortless and instantaneous. You do not consciously measure eye spacing or analyze the curve of a smile. Instead, the subconscious processes the image in specialized regions of the brain devoted to faces. Recognition happens so quickly that you may feel familiarity before you can name the person. This system is so specialized that damage to it can cause prosopagnosia or face blindness, where even loved ones become visually unrecognizable. The speed and precision of subconscious facial recognition reveal how deeply social our brains are, shaped over millennia to identify friends, family, and allies at a glance. Every smile you recognize, every subtle glance you interpret, is made possible by this hidden machinery scanning features at lightning speed. The conscious mind receives only the final result, a quiet sense of familiarity, while the subconscious performs a complex dance of pattern recognition beneath awareness. In conversation, your subconscious quietly synchronizes with others. Speech rhythms, pauses, and intonation subtly align without effort. You may match the pace of a friend's speech or mirror their tone without realizing it. This subconscious mirroring makes conversation feel smooth, natural, and connected. Researchers believe this synchronization helps build trust and understanding, reinforcing social bonds. While the conscious mind focuses on meaning, the subconscious tracks timing, rhythm, and melody of speech, adjusting in real time. Conversation becomes a duet, two minds gently tuning themselves to one another, weaving voices into harmony beneath awareness. Every dialogue, then, is not just an exchange of words. It is a quiet symphony, conducted partly by hidden processes that shape connection in ways too subtle to notice, yet powerful enough to bring people together. Beyond language, the subconscious also mirrors gestures, expressions, and posture. Crossing arms when another person does, leaning forward when they lean forward, smiling when they smile. These subtle imitations often happen without awareness. This mimicry signals empathy and rapport, helping people feel understood and aligned. Experiments show that people are more likely to trust and cooperate with those who mirror them, even subtly. The subconscious orchestrates these micro-adjustments, smoothing interactions and building invisible bridges of connection. By the time the conscious mind feels comfort or trust, the subconscious has already laid the foundation, weaving social harmony through imitation too quiet to see. In this way, human connection emerges not only from words and intentions, but from a silent choreography guided by hidden minds echoing one another in gentle synchrony. Blushing is one of the clearest signs of the subconscious speaking directly through the body. A sudden rush of blood colors the cheeks in response to embarrassment, attention, or attraction. This reaction is not commanded by the conscious mind. It arises from subconscious emotional circuits interpreting social exposure. Trying not to blush often makes it worse, because attention amplifies the subconscious trigger. Scientists suggest blushing may have evolved as a social signal of sincerity and vulnerability, a visible sign that someone is emotionally engaged and honest. Whatever its origin, blushing remains a reminder that some signals cannot be controlled. The subconscious reveals feelings in a language older than words, painting emotion onto the skin like a quiet confession written in color. Every step you take is guided by the subconscious. Walking feels simple, yet it requires precise coordination of hundreds of muscles, constant balance adjustments, and integration of signals from the eyes, inner ear, and body sensors. You rarely notice this orchestration because the subconscious handles it automatically. It keeps you upright on uneven ground, adjusts your stride on slopes, and catches you when you stumble. The rhythm of walking unfolds without conscious supervision, allowing your thoughts to wander freely. Only when balance is disrupted, on a swaying boat or icy pavement, do you glimpse how much effort the subconscious invests in every movement. Walking, running, dancing, these are symphonies of motion conducted by hidden neural circuits honed through deep evolutionary time. Your conscious mind travels through thoughts, while the subconscious carries your body through space, step by effortless step. Yawning is simple, yet its contagious nature reveals a deep social connection. Seeing, hearing, or even reading about a yawn can trigger one in yourself. This reflex is linked to subconscious empathy, guided by mirror neurons that simulate the states of others. When someone yawns, your subconscious interprets it as a cue to align, producing a yawn in response. The effect is strongest among close friends and family, and even animals like chimpanzees and dogs show contagious yawning. This suggests that yawning is not just about oxygen, but about synchronizing states within a group. Each shared yawn is a quiet signal of connection. I feel what you feel. In this small reflex, the subconscious binds individuals together, aligning minds and bodies through invisible threads of empathy. Implicit bias is another powerful example of subconscious influence. Prejudice often operates not through conscious intention, but through hidden associations formed by culture, experience, and repetition. A person may consciously believe in equality, yet subconsciously hold stereotypes that influence perception and behavior. These biases can affect hiring decisions, education, and daily interactions without awareness. Scientists measure them through subtle reaction time tests, revealing associations that words cannot capture. While these biases may not align with conscious values, they still shape choices and judgments. Recognizing subconscious bias is the first step toward change. With awareness and training, the subconscious can be retrained, slowly reshaping automatic associations. Implicit bias reminds us that self-knowledge requires looking beyond what we believe into the silent currents of feeling and perception that flow beneath awareness. Mirror neurons play a central role in subconscious imitation and empathy. When you watch someone smile, feel pain, or grasp an object, your brain activates in patterns similar to theirs. These neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you observe it, allowing you to simulate others' experiences. This system underlies learning, empathy, and social connection. When a child imitates an adult, or when you flinch at seeing someone hurt, mirror neurons are at work. Much of this happens beneath awareness, blending your experiences with those of others. Through mirror neurons, laughter spreads, accents shift, and emotions ripple through groups. The subconscious becomes a bridge between minds, allowing one person's inner world to echo in another. In this way, consciousness is not isolated. It is woven into a network of shared experience, a quiet resonance among minds across time and space. You may not consciously notice the passing of minutes or hours, yet the subconscious often tracks time with remarkable precision. Without looking at a clock, you might wait just before an alarm, sense when a meeting is about to start, or feel when something has taken longer than expected. This internal timing arises from biological clocks and neural rhythms that measure intervals quietly. The subconscious integrates signals from the body and environment, creating an internal sense of duration. Time, in this sense, is felt not only by clocks and calendars, but by the hidden machinery of the brain itself. As you drift through the night, remember that while the conscious mind rests, the subconscious continues counting breaths, heartbeats, and moments, marking time in the quiet language of neurons, echoing the rhythms of the universe, where stars pulse, planets orbit, and cosmic time flows onward, indifferent yet strangely mirrored in the beating of your heart. And so, beneath the surface of waking thought, beneath the gentle flicker of awareness, the subconscious continues its quiet vigil, measuring moments, sensing presence, guiding breath and heartbeat through the invisible corridors of time. Many people have experienced the mysterious gift of waking at precisely the moment they intended, before any alarm has spoken. Somewhere in the depths of the sleeping mind, an unseen clock has been counting, not with numbers, but with rhythms, the slow oscillations of brain waves, the steady cadence of the heart, the subtle chemistry of night and morning light. While consciousness rests in darkness, the subconscious keeps watch, aligning the body with the hidden flow of hours. Musicians and athletes draw upon this same inner timing, performing intricate sequences with effortless precision, their fingers and muscles moving faster than conscious counting could ever allow. Even in dreams, the subconscious preserves a sense of duration. A brief nap may stretch into an epic journey, while a long sleep cycle may pass like a single breath. Scientists believe this internal timekeeper is woven from biological clocks, heartbeat patterns, and environmental cues, all blended into a silent chronicle of passing moments. Conscious awareness may distort time, stretching it with boredom or compressing it with joy. Yet beneath those fluctuations lies a steadier rhythm, quietly keeping the body in sync with the universe's slow, patient unfolding. The subconscious may never tell you the hour, but it ensures you are never lost in time's current. There are moments when you feel eyes upon you, an inexplicable sensation that makes you turn, only to find another gaze meeting yours across a room. This feeling, so common and so eerie, may be the voice of the subconscious detecting subtle signals. Peripheral vision, tiny movements, slight shifts in posture. These fragments are gathered and assembled into a silent message. You are being watched. Long ago, this sensitivity may have meant survival, allowing our ancestors to sense a predator's stare in the shadows of the forest. Today, the same mechanism quietly scans social spaces, alerting you to attention before you consciously see it. In a crowded room, a glance can be felt like a whisper across invisible threads, a reminder that minds are always observing, always connected. The subconscious has already noticed, murmuring softly to the body that you are not alone in this moment. Peripheral vision itself is a vast, unlit landscape that the subconscious patrols continuously. While conscious awareness fixates on the center of sight, the edges are scanned for movement, contrast, and change. A sudden motion at the corner of your eye triggers attention before thought arises. This ancient surveillance system once guarded early humans against approaching predators or rivals, and it still guides drivers on highways, athletes on fields, and pedestrians in bustling streets. Most of what passes through peripheral vision never reaches awareness, yet it shapes posture, reflexes, and mood. The subconscious acts as a gatekeeper, deciding which signals are urgent enough to break into consciousness. Each time you startle at a flicker in the distance, it is proof that something within you has been watching quietly, long before you noticed. The subconscious does not only observe the world outside, it also listens to the worlds we imagine. When you picture a storm, your heart may quicken. When you imagine a calm ocean, your breath may slow. The body responds to images as if they were real, because the subconscious blurs the boundary between inner vision and outer experience. Athletes rehearse victories in the theater of the mind, and their bodies begin to learn, as though the competition were already unfolding. Therapists guide patients through calming imagery, easing pain and anxiety by speaking to the hidden mind. Even when consciousness knows the images are imaginary, the subconscious responds with genuine physiological change. To imagine, in this sense, is to practice reality, to rehearse futures in the quiet darkness behind the eyes. Yet the subconscious also carries echoes of the past. Trauma can linger in its networks for decades, leaving imprints that survive long after conscious memory fades. A scent, a sound, a fragment of language can awaken emotions without explanation, like a ripple from a stone dropped long ago. These buried memories shape behavior, relationships, and identity, guiding choices in ways the conscious mind may never fully understand. Therapy often seeks to bring these hidden echoes into the light, where they can be named and gently integrated. Until then, the subconscious holds them like fossils embedded in the layers of the psyche, silent, enduring, and powerful. It protects by burying what is unbearable, yet it also binds the present to the past. In this dual role, the subconscious reveals both its resilience and its vulnerability, a guardian that remembers everything. The influence of the subconscious reaches into the body's ability to heal. Chronic stress, even when unnoticed, activates hidden pathways that release hormones such as cortisol, subtly suppressing the immune system. Wounds close more slowly, illness lingers, energy drains away. A person may feel calm on the surface, yet tension may be quietly stored beneath awareness. Studies suggest that individuals with lower subconscious stress recover more quickly from surgery and disease. Meditation, therapy, laughter, these gentle practices soothe the hidden mind, allowing the body to repair itself more efficiently. Healing, it seems, is not only a biological process, but also a dialogue between cells and the quiet thoughts beneath thought. When two people meet each other's eyes, another silent conversation begins. Eye contact triggers subconscious signals of trust, connection, and intent. A steady gaze can feel intimate, reassuring, or persuasive, while avoidance can suggest discomfort or deception. These judgments arise before words are processed, as the subconscious weighs subtle patterns of movement and timing. Evolution may have shaped this system to strengthen bonds within groups, allowing humans to sense sincerity and threat in an instant. Every shared glance is therefore more than a visual exchange. It is a meeting of hidden minds, speaking through the language of pupils and eyelids, through the ancient grammar of attention. Music, too, reaches directly into this hidden realm. As melodies unfold, breathing slows or quickens, heartbeats align with rhythm, muscles relax or tense in response to sound. These changes often occur without awareness, orchestrated by the subconscious processing tempo and emotion faster than conscious thought can follow. Slow, steady harmonies can lull the breath into calm, while rapid beats can energize the body like a rising tide. Singers and instrumentalists ride this subconscious synchronization, maintaining timing and expression through an intimate connection between sound and body. Listeners, even without training, find themselves moved, comforted, inspired, or unsettled by vibrations that speak to something older than language. Music becomes a bridge between minds, a universal signal that travels through time and culture, touching the hidden mind where rhythm and emotion intertwine. Even a simple smile can reshape the landscape of the subconscious. When you lift the corners of your mouth, the body sends a message inward, and the hidden mind interprets it as happiness. Neural circuits associated with joy begin to glow, gently lifting mood. This phenomenon, known as the facial feedback effect, reveals how deeply body and mind are entwined. People who smile during difficult moments often feel slightly lighter, as if the subconscious has been persuaded by the gesture itself. A smile is not only an expression of emotion, it is also an invitation to emotion, a quiet tool for guiding the inner world toward brightness. And when the subconscious is burdened with unresolved stress, it often speaks in the language of dreams. Nightmares can emerge as warnings, symbolic stories crafted by the hidden mind to signal imbalance. In the dark theater of sleep, fears take shape as landscapes, creatures, and falling sensations, all woven from fragments of memory and emotion. These nocturnal visions are not mere random images. They are messages from deep time within the brain, echoes of ancient survival systems and modern anxieties intertwined. The subconscious continues to watch, to measure, to feel, even as consciousness drifts into silence, reminding us that beneath the surface of every night lies a vigilant universe of thought, quietly keeping us in rhythm with the vast unfolding of existence. Beneath the veil of sleep, those vivid and unsettling dreams become more than fleeting shadows. They are gentle alarms sounded by the hidden mind, signaling that something within the inner landscape seeks attention. The subconscious transforms anxiety into symbolic journeys, being chased through endless corridors, falling through vast skies, losing control in shifting worlds. Though frightening, these visions are not random terrors. They are the mind's ancient language, a symbolic rehearsal for survival, a way to process emotions too complex or painful to face in daylight. In their own strange way, nightmares act as quiet messengers, urging the dreamer to notice pressures that have been ignored. They are communications from the depths, reminders that invisible systems are working tirelessly to cope with strain. Each unsettling image is a translation, converting tension into pictures too vivid to overlook. In the dark theater of the night, the subconscious speaks in symbols, and even fear becomes a form of guidance. In waking life, the body often reveals what the conscious mind refuses to acknowledge. Restless leg movements, tapping feet, bouncing knees, subtle shifting, can arise from subconscious anxiety seeking release. The body channels hidden stress into motion, like energy searching for a path through muscles and nerves. Often, people remain unaware of these movements until someone points them out, yet they are rarely random. They are quiet expressions of arousal, discomfort, or overload. In moments of fatigue or tension, the subconscious finds movement as a language, a rhythmic whisper that something within is unsettled. While sometimes linked to neurological conditions, in many cases these gestures are simply the body speaking what the mind has not yet articulated. The body becomes a mirror, reflecting emotional undercurrents in the smallest motions, revealing truths that words have not yet formed. Standing before an audience can awaken ancient circuits deep within the brain. Stage fright, with its racing heart, trembling hands, and shallow breath, often arrives even when the conscious mind knows there is no real danger. This response is rooted in subconscious fear systems, particularly in the amygdala, which interprets social exposure as a potential threat. In distant evolutionary past, being singled out by a group could mean exclusion, and exclusion could mean peril. The subconscious still carries this memory, reacting to modern stages as if survival were at stake. It cannot easily distinguish between a spotlight and a predator's gaze. Yet with gentle practice and repetition, many learn to retrain these associations, teaching the hidden mind that visibility does not equal danger. Until then, stage fright remains a powerful reminder that ancient instincts still echo through modern lives, shaping experience with the gravity of deep time. Guilt, too, can reside quietly beneath awareness, shaping decisions without announcing itself. Subconscious guilt may steer choices away from opportunity, encourage hesitation, or quietly sabotage success. The conscious mind may offer logical explanations, yet beneath them lies a hidden compass oriented by past regrets. The subconscious carries these weights, interpreting the present through the lens of unresolved experiences. Psychologists often trace patterns of avoidance back to buried guilt, gently bringing them into awareness so they can be integrated and released. Until that happens, subconscious guilt continues to guide behavior like an unseen hand, nudging paths away from resolution. It is a reminder that memory is not passive. It acts, influences, and quietly reshapes the trajectory of a life, long after the original moment has faded into the past. Beyond thought and emotion, the subconscious also governs the chemistry of existence itself. Hormones rise and fall in delicate cycles, orchestrated by networks that operate without conscious direction. Cortisol increases with morning light, gently lifting the mind into wakefulness. Melatonin deepens as night descends, inviting sleep. Insulin responds to nourishment, guiding energy through the body. These processes unfold silently, like tides responding to distant moons. The conscious mind can influence them indirectly, through stress, rest, or choice. But the fine-tuned balance is maintained by unseen conductors within the brain and endocrine system. The subconscious is not only a storyteller of dreams and emotions, it is also the silent custodian of biological rhythms, adjusting internal chemistry moment by moment to keep the body aligned with the cycles of Earth and the turning of day and night. Attraction, too, can begin in the realm of scent, far below conscious awareness. While sight and sound dominate perception, subtle chemical signals travel quietly through the air, shaping preference and emotion. The subconscious senses these cues, evaluating genetic compatibility, comfort, and familiarity. Research suggests that natural body odor can reflect immune system differences, with the subconscious favoring combinations that might lead to healthier offspring. Perfumes, natural scents, and invisible molecules all participate in this hidden dialogue, altering how someone feels without a single word spoken. Attraction becomes a conversation between molecules and memory, chemistry and intuition, a quiet negotiation conducted beneath thought. The conscious mind may believe it chooses, but the subconscious has already begun its calculations, weaving biology into perception and guiding feelings toward closeness or distance. Songs heard in childhood often linger like constellations in the inner sky, shining long after years have passed. A lullaby, a simple rhyme, a melody from early days. These sounds sink deep into the subconscious, entwined with feelings of safety, warmth, and belonging. Decades later, a familiar tune can unlock a flood of emotion, transporting the listener across time to moments that seem lost. The subconscious preserves these melodies not just as sound, but as emotional time capsules, storing them in layers that endure beyond conscious memory. Childhood songs become threads that weave through a lifetime, connecting the present self with the child who once listened in wonder. In this way, Music becomes a bridge across time, carried quietly by the hidden mind. Memory itself is not as fixed as it feels. The subconscious can accept suggestions and weave them into the tapestry of experience, creating memories of events that never occurred. Experiments have shown that with careful prompting, people can recall detailed childhood experiences that were entirely fabricated. These false memories can feel as real as genuine ones, complete with emotion and sensory detail. The subconscious does not record life like a camera. It reconstructs, edits, and blends imagination with reality, reshaping the past each time it is recalled. This is why eyewitness testimony can be unreliable, why nostalgia can soften or distort history, and why therapeutic exploration must proceed with care. The subconscious is a storyteller, constantly rewriting the narrative of life, and sometimes even the storyteller cannot distinguish fact from fiction. In the quiet hours of night, when the conscious mind retreats, words may still rise from the depths. Sleep-talking or somniloquy is the subconscious speaking into the darkness. Phrases emerge without intention, fragmented, poetic, or oddly coherent, floating through the still air. These utterances occur across different stages of sleep, sometimes linked to dreams, sometimes to spontaneous bursts of activity in the sleeping brain. They rarely reveal clear secrets, yet they demonstrate how active the hidden mind remains during rest. Conversations unfold without awareness, echoes of inner activity projected into the world. Sleep-talking reminds us that the boundary between wake and sleep is porous, a gentle gradient rather than a wall. Even when consciousness is silent, the subconscious continues its quiet work, occasionally letting a few words drift into the night like signals from a distant shore. And so, through dreams and movements, hormones and memories, scents and songs, the subconscious continues its endless choreography, guiding life through rhythms older than language. It is an unseen companion, ancient and patient, carrying the imprints of evolution and the whispers of personal history. As time flows forward, through days, seasons, and generations, the subconscious remains, quietly watching, quietly shaping, quietly keeping each mind in harmony with the vast, unfolding story of the universe. As the night deepens and the world grows quiet, the mind sometimes loosens its grip on intention. In this softened state, words can begin to flow without effort, guided not by planning but by deeper currents. This is automatic writing, a moment when the hand seems to move on its own, tracing thoughts that feel unfamiliar even to the writer. It is the subconscious shaping language directly, bypassing the usual filters of judgment and control. For some, this practice becomes a gentle doorway inward, revealing emotions or memories long buried beneath awareness. For others, it is a creative release, allowing imagery and ideas to surface that the conscious mind might otherwise silence. Though once surrounded by myths of the supernatural, the simpler truth is more profound. The subconscious is capable of coherent expression all on its own. When the conscious self steps aside, the hidden voice speaks freely, like an underground river finally reaching the open air. Sometimes, however, the subconscious does not speak, it conceals. Painful memories may be pushed from awareness through mechanisms designed not for truth, but for survival. This suppression often happens without choice, as the mind shields itself from experiences too overwhelming to revisit. On the surface, life continues, yet beneath, those memories remain stored, quietly shaping mood, behavior, even the body's responses to stress. A sound, a smell, a fleeting phrase can suddenly unlock them, releasing emotions that feel far larger than the present moment. The subconscious never truly erases what it hides. It simply tucks it away, preserving it in shadow. In therapeutic settings, these memories are approached carefully, brought into the light only when the mind is ready. This delicate balance reveals the subconscious as both guardian and gatekeeper, editing experience not for accuracy, but for endurance, reminding us that memory is defined as much by forgetting as by remembering. Learning, too, often unfolds beyond awareness. As skills are practiced, the subconscious begins refining movements and timing even when mistakes go unnoticed. A pianist stumbles through a passage, yet with repetition, the fingers gradually find their rhythm. This process, implicit learning, allows progress without conscious correction. Athletes, musicians, and children acquiring language all depend on it. The subconscious monitors feedback, adjusting patterns until they settle into ease. This is why abilities often feel smoother after rest, as if improvement occurred without effort. In truth, it did. While the conscious mind provided direction, the hidden systems continued working in silence, shaping competence like a sculptor chiseling stone in the dark. When focus loosens and the mind drifts, creativity often awakens. Daydreaming invites the subconscious to wander freely, exploring connections without constraint. Images arise unbidden, ideas assemble themselves, stories begin to form. Scientists describe this as the default mode network, a state where the brain turns inward when not occupied by tasks. In these moments, the subconscious plays, combining memory, emotion, and imagination, testing possibilities. Many breakthroughs are born here, not through effort, but through release. Though society prizes constant focus, daydreaming reveals another truth. Creativity thrives when control softens. The subconscious needs space to roam, to weave fragments into something new, quietly shaping insight while the conscious mind rests. Between wakefulness and sleep lies a shimmering threshold known as hypnagogia. In this twilight zone, the subconscious paints freely. Colors pulse, shapes dissolve, voices murmur without context. These fleeting visions blend memory with imagination, logic with dream. Though brief, they can be powerful, offering raw material for art, invention, and insight. Unlike dreams, hypnagogic imagery is semi-conscious. You may sense yourself drifting, aware yet unable to guide what appears. It is a rare chance to witness the subconscious at work, creating without restraint, revealing its textures and tones before the gates of sleep fully close. Sometimes, awareness follows the dreamer even deeper. In lucid dreams, consciousness awakens inside the dream itself. The dreamer knows they are dreaming and may even shape the unfolding world. Here, conscious intention and subconscious imagery meet, sharing the same space. People who experience lucid dreams often describe them as vivid and expansive, a place to ask questions, rehearse skills, or face fears symbolically. The subconscious supplies the landscape, the conscious mind explores it knowingly. This meeting shows that the boundary between these layers is not absolute. Under rare conditions, they can converse, revealing that awareness can reach even into the hidden worlds of sleep. In waking life, meditation offers another kind of meeting. Daily experience fills the subconscious with habits, worries, and automatic reactions that hum beneath awareness. Meditation gently quiets this noise by anchoring attention to breath, sound, or stillness. Over time, subconscious turbulence softens. Brain scans reveal changes in regions tied to attention and emotion, suggesting that meditation retrains the hidden mind. Practitioners often describe a sense of spaciousness, as if inner knots have loosened. The subconscious does not vanish, it settles. Its whispers grow calmer, its reactions less urgent. In this quiet, compassion and clarity find room to grow, revealing that peace is not imposed, but uncovered within the deepest layers of the mind. Dreams themselves speak most clearly in symbols. The subconscious prefers images to explanations, metaphors to logic. A locked door, a falling staircase, a rushing river. These scenes are rarely literal. They are emotional translations, feelings rendered as landscapes. While no symbol carries a universal meaning, many echo personal history stored beneath awareness. Psychologists have long noted this poetic language of dreams, where the subconscious writes in pictures rather than words. Whether fully understood or not, these symbols leave traces, hinting at inner movements that conscious thought may only partially grasp. And even in the deepest sleep, the subconscious does not rest. It continues to work, quietly consolidating the day's experiences. Skills practiced while awake are strengthened overnight, woven into long-term memory. Musicians often wake to find passages smoother, athletes more precise. The hidden mind has been rehearsing in silence, refining patterns while the body lay still. This nocturnal learning reveals a profound truth. Even in darkness, even in stillness, the subconscious remains active, patiently shaping the self across time, one quiet night at a time. Even as sleep settles over you like a slow-moving tide, the work of learning does not cease. While dreams wander through distant landscapes and unrelated stories, the deeper mind remains focused, quietly strengthening fragile connections formed during the day. Pathways between neurons are reinforced, patterns are rehearsed, and understanding is gently woven into something more lasting. Sleep, in this sense, is not an absence of activity, but a continuation of it, learning carried out in darkness. Conscious awareness may drift away, but the inner student never rests. In the stillness of the night, the subconscious prepares the mind for tomorrow, proving that silence itself can be productive, and that rest is often another form of practice. In the waking world, surrounded by sound, the subconscious performs another quiet miracle. In a crowded room filled with overlapping voices, laughter, and clinking glasses, you can still hear one familiar voice rise above the rest. This is known as the cocktail party effect, and it is guided almost entirely by the subconscious. While conscious attention struggles to hold more than one thread at a time, the hidden mind listens broadly, filtering and sorting sounds without effort. A familiar name, a beloved tone, or a meaningful word is detected and gently lifted into awareness. You may suddenly notice someone calling you from across the room, even though moments before you were not listening at all. The subconscious has been listening the whole time, ensuring that what matters most is never lost in the noise. This same unseen influence extends into judgment and decision-making, often without permission. In situations like hiring or evaluation, people may believe they are acting purely on logic and fairness. Yet beneath that confidence, subconscious biases can quietly shape outcomes. A name, an accent, or a subtle cue can activate hidden associations formed through culture and repetition. Identical qualifications may be weighed differently depending on these signals, not through intent, but through habit. These biases are rarely felt as prejudice. They feel like instinct or intuition. Recognizing their presence is the first step towards softening their impact. Structured systems and conscious reflection can help balance the partnership between deliberate reasoning and the hidden leanings of the subconscious, guiding decisions closer to true merit. To better understand these hidden preferences, psychologists have developed tools such as implicit association tests. These assessments move too quickly for conscious filtering, revealing subconscious patterns through reaction times. A person may sincerely believe they hold no bias, yet their responses tell a quieter story shaped by years of exposure and experience. These tests are not accusations, but mirrors, reflecting associations the subconscious has absorbed without consent. By bringing these patterns into awareness, individuals gain the opportunity to question and gradually reshape them. The subconscious, once illuminated, becomes less rigid, more open to change. First impressions, too, are born in silence and speed. In fractions of a second, before a thought can form, the subconscious evaluates faces, postures, and voices. Judgments of trust, warmth, or danger arise almost instantly, guided by ancient instincts and learned patterns. Conscious reasoning arrives later, often to explain or revise what has already been felt. These snap judgments are not always accurate, yet they leave traces that can influence relationships long after the first moment has passed. They remind us that much of social life unfolds below awareness, shaped by a mind that evolved to act quickly in uncertain worlds. Beyond thought and perception, the subconscious also guards the body itself. Your internal temperature remains stable across changing environments because hidden systems never stop adjusting. Deep within the brain, the hypothalamus monitors signals, opening blood vessels to release heat or triggering shivers to generate warmth. You may feel the chill or the glare of the sun, but the precise regulation happens automatically, moment by moment. The subconscious is the quiet engineer of the body's climate, maintaining balance so life can continue, regardless of the conditions outside. Even the smallest movements reveal its presence. You blink thousands of times a day, each blink cleaning and protecting the eyes, offering tiny moments of rest. While you can blink on command, most blinking is guided subconsciously. Stress, fatigue, or intense thought subtly change its rhythm. In these tiny reflexes, the hidden mind leaves fingerprints, adjusting the body to match inner state without drawing attention to itself. The same is true in the digital world. As fingers move across a keyboard, typing speed and rhythm shift with mood and energy. Stress may tighten timing, fatigue may slow it. Researchers have found that these patterns form unique signatures, shaped by subconscious motor control. You focus on words and meaning, while the hidden mind sets the cadence. Every sentence typed carries not only information, but rhythm, a quiet echo of the state within. On paper, this echo becomes visible. The pressure of handwriting darkens under tension and lightens with ease. The angle of letters leans subtly right, left, or straight, shaped not by decision, but by habit and feeling. While interpretations should be gentle, the principle remains clear. The subconscious speaks through motion. Each page becomes a record not only of language, but of presence, the weight of the moment preserved in ink. And when voices meet in conversation, rhythm once again becomes a bridge. Without realizing it, speakers begin to align their pace, pauses, and intonation. This subconscious synchronization smooths interaction, creating comfort and connection. Conversation becomes less like an exchange and more like a shared current, carrying both participants along. Words matter, but so does timing. Beneath the dialogue, the subconscious listens, adjusts, and harmonizes, ensuring that communication feels natural, almost effortless. All of this unfolds quietly, continuously. From sleep to speech, from movement to memory, the subconscious remains at work, shaping experience with patience and precision. It is ancient, tireless, and deeply attuned to both body and world. As time moves forward, measured by clocks, stars, and heartbeats, the hidden mind moves with it, adapting, learning, and preparing. In its steady labor, we are reminded that even when awareness fades, even when the world grows quiet, something within us is always listening, always learning, always keeping pace with the deep rhythm of existence. Across the world, in countless languages and cultures, strangers often begin to speak as if guided by the same gentle rhythm. Their voices rise and fall together, their pauses align, their pacing drifts into synchrony, as though an invisible metronome were quietly ticking beneath the conversation. This alignment happens without instruction or intention. The subconscious listens, adjusts, and echoes, smoothing differences into harmony. When rhythm falters, when voices clash in tempo or tone, the exchange can feel strangely tense, even if no harsh words are spoken. Beneath every dialogue, beyond vocabulary and grammar, there is a softer layer of communication, a hidden music conducted by the subconscious, weaving individual minds into a shared cadence that fosters trust, cooperation, and belonging. Pain, too, is shaped by this hidden conductor. Pain is not merely a signal from nerves and tissues. It is an interpretation crafted by the brain, with the subconscious holding the volume dial. When the subconscious anticipates pain, it amplifies sensation, sharpening every signal as if danger were imminent. Fear and expectation prime the nervous system, making identical stimuli feel more intense. Chronic pain can arise when the subconscious continues to sound alarms long after the body has healed, replaying old warnings like echoes in a canyon. Pain becomes a story written by both body and belief, biology and memory, nerves and expectation. In this way, suffering becomes deeply personal, a dialogue between tissues and the unseen mind that interprets them. Yet the same hidden system that magnifies pain can also soften it. When the subconscious expects relief, it releases its own medicine, endorphins and soothing chemicals that quiet the nervous system. This is the gentle magic behind the placebo effect, where belief alone can ease discomfort. The ritual of treatment, the calm presence of a healer, the suggestion of safety, all of these whisper to the subconscious that healing is underway. Even when the conscious mind doubts, the deeper mind may accept the story and act upon it. In this sense, recovery is not only a physical process, but a narrative the subconscious embraces. Words, environments, and rituals become tools that reshape sensation, reminding us that belief is not just thought, but chemistry guided by expectation. Blood pressure, the silent pulse of life, is also tuned by the subconscious. When hidden circuits sense threat, blood surges, preparing muscles for action. When calm is detected, the heart eases, vessels relax, and the body rests. These adjustments often begin before awareness, so the flush of fear or the softness of relaxation arrives as a physical fact before it becomes a thought. Prolonged subconscious stress can keep this system in a constant state of alert, pressing the heart to work harder day after day. But gentle practices, music, laughter, meditation, speak directly to the hidden mind, inviting it to loosen its grip. Blood pressure becomes a quiet diary of emotional life, recording the rhythms of feeling in the language of the heart. Sometimes, the subconscious writes its messages directly on the skin. Goosebumps rise like tiny constellations, each bump a remnant of ancestral survival. In distant epochs, raised fur-made animals appear larger or trapped warmth against cold. Though modern humans no longer rely on this, the reflex remains, triggered by fear, awe, music, or a sudden chill. It appears before you can name what you feel, a whisper from ancient circuits still alive in the depths of the brain. Goosebumps are among the rare moments when subconscious emotion becomes visible, a fleeting script etched across the surface of the body, reminding us that evolution still breathes through us. Each night, while the world sleeps and stars continue their silent journeys, the subconscious becomes an archivist of experience. Memories gathered during the day are sorted, strengthened, and woven into the fabric of identity. Skills practiced, words learned, emotions felt, each is replayed and reinforced in hidden neural theaters. This process, called consolidation, ensures that fleeting moments become enduring knowledge. Without it, the mind would wake each morning as a blank slate, fragile and unanchored. Sleep deprivation disrupts this quiet work, leaving memories scattered like loose pages. The subconscious decides what is worth keeping, what must fade, and what must be integrated into the ongoing story of the self. Night after night, it files the library of experience, preparing consciousness to step forward with a richer past. Even time itself bends to the will of the hidden mind. The clock may tick steadily, but subjective time flows according to subconscious encoding. Moments of novelty and emotion are recorded densely, stretching them in memory, while routine dissolves into blur, compressing years into whispers. Childhood summers expand into vast epochs, while adult decades slip by like passing clouds. Fear can stretch seconds into eternity. Joy can dissolve hours into a single breath. Time as lived is not physics alone. It is perception shaped by attention, emotion, and memory. The subconscious writes its own calendar, marking moments not by dates but by meaning. Emotions, too, begin in silence. Before you can name anger, love, or shame, the the subconscious has already moved the body into position. The heart quickens, muscles tense, blood warms the skin. Ancient survival systems spring into action long before language arrives. Consciousness follows later, trying to explain what the body already knows. This is why emotions feel sudden and difficult to control. They belong first to deeper layers of the brain. The conscious mind becomes the storyteller, but the subconscious is the author, scripting feeling in the language of chemistry and motion. Sometimes, even the briefest flicker of sleep opens a doorway to dreaming. Microdreams, tiny bursts of imagery lasting only seconds, can appear during extreme fatigue. A student blinking at a desk, a driver momentarily drifting. Each may glimpse surreal images as the subconscious slips into dream mode. These flashes reveal how urgently the brain seeks to dream, to process, to imagine. Even in fragments, the subconscious rehearses reality, explores possibilities, and sends warnings of exhaustion. In mere seconds, it paints entire worlds that vanish like mist, yet prove that the drive to dream is woven into the deepest layers of mind. For those carrying trauma, the subconscious becomes both vault and messenger. Painful memories often sink below awareness, stored not as clear stories, but as sensations and emotions. A sound, a scent, a phrase can awaken these buried echoes, triggering fear or sorrow without explanation. Therapeutic approaches such as guided imagery or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing seek to speak directly to the subconscious, helping it reprocess fragments into coherent narratives. In doing so, they transform raw memory into something that can be understood and integrated. Trauma lives in the hidden mind, but healing begins when the subconscious is gently guided toward new patterns of safety and meaning. And so, beneath every breath, every heartbeat, every thought, the subconscious continues its quiet work. It synchronizes voices, shapes pain, steadies blood, archives memory, stretches time, authors emotion, and dreams even in seconds. It is older than language, older than civilization, shaped by millions of years of evolution under starlit skies. In its rhythms, humanity is linked to ancient ancestors and distant futures, each moment a ripple in the deep ocean of time. The conscious mind may believe itself the captain, but beneath the deck, in the engine rooms of being, the subconscious hums steadily, guiding the voyage through the vast, unfolding universe. And so, the hidden mind continues its quiet work, reshaping experience long after events have passed, like gentle tides smoothing the edges of ancient stones. Therapies that speak directly to this deeper layer of awareness invite the subconscious to revisit old memories, not to erase them, but to place them into a calmer, safer context. Trauma, once stored as raw sensation, sound, image, tension, can be slowly softened. The emotional charge fades, not through force, but through understanding at a level deeper than words. The event remains a chapter in the long story of a life, yet it no longer dominates the present moment. The subconscious learns that the danger has passed, that the body can stand down from its ancient vigilance. In this quiet reorganization, peace becomes possible again, not as denial, but as integration. Healing in this sense is a conversation between past and present, guided by the unseen librarian of memory. The subconscious, however, is not persuaded by arguments alone. It is a student of repetition, a listener to rhythm, a sculptor of habit through countless small echoes. Each repeated action becomes a path worn into neural soil. Each recurring thought becomes a familiar trail the mind walks without effort. This is how habits emerge, both the gentle rituals that bring comfort and the patterns that quietly limit potential. A musician's fingers learn a melody long before the conscious mind can analyze each note. A child's language blooms through repetition, sounds slowly crystallizing into meaning. Explanation offers a map, but repetition builds the road. Over time, these roads define who we are, shaping identity through quiet practice. The subconscious remembers what we do, not what we intend, and it carries these patterns forward into the future, as faithfully as a river remembers its course. In the realm of performance and skill, athletes have long understood this secret language of the hidden mind. They close their eyes and rehearse victories in silence, imagining muscles moving with perfect precision, breaths aligning with effort, the finish line approaching in slow, luminous detail. The brain, remarkably, treats these visions as if they were real. Neural pathways light up, coordination refines itself, confidence grows. The subconscious absorbs the imagined experience as another rehearsal in the long archive of practice. When the moment arrives, the body moves as if it has been there before, because in a quiet sense, it has. Visualization becomes a bridge between thought and action, between possibility and reality, whispering to the hidden mind that success is already familiar. Words themselves, especially when shaped into metaphors, travel effortlessly into this deeper realm. When we speak of a heavy burden or a warm heart, the subconscious does not merely interpret meaning, it feels it. Weight, warmth, distance, light. These symbols awaken sensations and judgments beneath awareness. A story can make us feel closer, safer, or more threatened without us realizing why. Poetry, advertising, myth, all speak the native language of the subconscious, where images are more powerful than logic. In this realm, words become landscapes and ideas become sensations. The boundary between imagination and experience grows thin, and meaning becomes something that can be felt in the body, not just understood in the mind. In every social interaction, another silent language unfolds. Body language, posture, gesture, micro-expression, streams continuously into the subconscious, where it is decoded with astonishing speed. A fleeting glance, a slight tilt of the head, a softening of the shoulders. These signals paint an emotional portrait before the conscious mind has time to interpret it. This is why trust can be felt instantly, or unease can arise without explanation. The subconscious assembles these tiny clues into a holistic understanding of others, guiding responses with empathy or caution. Conversation, then, is only the surface of a deeper exchange, where bodies speak and the hidden mind listens. Even movement itself becomes a prophecy. Before someone reaches out, before they step forward, before they speak, their body reveals subtle hints of what will come next. The subconscious reads these signals like faint ripples on water, predicting intention before action occurs. In sports, this allows anticipation. An athlete moves before the opponent's strike. In daily life, it allows harmony. Two people sidestep each other effortlessly. Conversations flow without interruption. Conscious awareness lags behind, narrating events after the fact, while the hidden mind has already guided behavior in real time. It is as if part of us is always a step ahead, quietly preparing for the next moment in the unfolding dance of existence. Within groups, this hidden intelligence seeks harmony and belonging. The subconscious mirrors posture, echoes laughter, and subtly shifts opinions toward consensus. It is an ancient instinct, born in times when survival depended on staying with the tribe. Even today, this instinct can lead people to conform, sometimes against their own conscious judgments. The pull of togetherness is deep and quiet, a gravitational force drawing individuals into shared rhythm. It fosters unity and cooperation, yet it can also blur individuality. The subconscious weighs isolation against belonging and often chooses the comfort of the collective, reminding us that humans are, at their core, social constellations, bound together by invisible threads of shared feeling. Laughter, too, arises from this social circuitry. Often it bursts forth not from a calculated sense of humor, but from the subconscious recognition of connection. A laugh spreads through a room like a ripple through still water, each person's hidden mind mirroring the sound, joining the rhythm. It signals safety, warmth, and shared presence. Sometimes laughter emerges even in uncertainty or tension, a reflexive attempt to smooth the social fabric. It is the subconscious saying, in its own musical way, that you belong, that you are part of this moment, that you are not alone in the vastness of experience. Fear, one of the oldest emotions encoded in the nervous system, can also shape decisions far beyond conscious awareness. Messages that emphasize danger or instability resonate with deep survival circuits, nudging choices toward perceived safety. In the realm of politics, this means that votes and opinions may be influenced by emotions that operate beneath rational debate. The subconscious listens for threats and promises of protection, responding as if the stakes were immediate and physical. This does not make such influences purely negative. Fear can unify and motivate, but it reveals how deeply ancient instincts continue to guide modern societies. Even in the abstract world of policy and ideology, the hidden mind whispers of safety, belonging, and survival. And then there is color, the quiet language of light. The subconscious responds to hues instantly, long before words are processed. Red can quicken the pulse, blue can calm the breath, green can evoke forests and renewal. Designers and advertisers carefully arrange these colors, knowing they speak directly to the hidden mind. In a fraction of a second, impressions form, preferences tilt, trust grows or fades. Each color carries a history of associations, both cultural and personal, woven into memory across a lifetime. To the subconscious, color is not decoration. It is emotion made visible, a spectrum of feeling painted across the world. Through all of this, the subconscious remains a vast, silent ocean beneath the surface of awareness, guiding, predicting, shaping, remembering. It is older than language, older than civilization, a legacy of evolution stretching back through countless generations. As we move through modern life, surrounded by screens and cities, this ancient intelligence still hums within us, echoing rhythms older than mountains and deeper than oceans. It connects us to each other, to our ancestors, and to the long unfolding story of life on Earth, a story written not only in genes and fossils, but in the quiet, continuous whisper of the hidden mind. And so the story continues, flowing like a quiet river beneath the surface of awareness, carrying choices and perceptions long before they rise into conscious thought. By the time the conscious mind begins to justify a decision, the hidden currents have already shifted direction. Advertising, in this sense, is not merely persuasion through logic or slogans, but a subtle dialogue with the subconscious, conducted in hues, textures, rhythms, and emotional undertones. Colors whisper to ancient circuits, evoking urgency, trust, hunger, or serenity. Long before a message is understood, the hidden mind has already felt its meaning, guiding preference with gentle, invisible hands. In every moment, the world hums with sound, footsteps on distant pavement, the soft pulse of machines, voices drifting through walls, the faint wind brushing against glass. Yet you are not overwhelmed. The subconscious filters this vast orchestra continuously, deciding which notes matter and which can fade into the background. It mutes the ordinary, allowing consciousness to rest in a pocket of clarity. But when something meaningful occurs, a sudden crash, your name spoken, a shift in tone, the hidden gatekeeper opens instantly, lifting the sound into awareness. This filtering is what allows conversation in crowded rooms, concentration amid city noise, and peace in environments that would otherwise feel chaotic. Silence, in this sense, is not the absence of sound, but the careful curation performed by the subconscious, sculpting experience into something manageable and calm. Even in sleep, the hidden mind keeps time. Many people awaken moments before an alarm, stirred by an internal rhythm that never fully sleeps. The subconscious tracks circadian cycles, hormone fluctuations, and the subtle memory of routine. When you set an intention before bed, "Wake me at this hour," the hidden system begins to prepare. Hormones rise gently, body temperature shifts, the threshold for awakening lowers. It is as if an unseen caretaker stands watch through the night, counting the hours while dreams unfold. Travelers waking at their habitual time in unfamiliar places, children rising before school, workers stirring before dawn. All are guided by this quiet internal clock. Sleep is not an off switch. It is a different mode of stewardship, where the subconscious listens, anticipates, and keeps its promises. Dreams, too, belong to this realm of quiet guardianship and revelation. Childhood experiences that were too intense to process may remain stored as sensations and symbols rather than words. In dreams, these fragments return as corridors, shadows, locked doors, or endless staircases. The subconscious speaks in images, not arguments, offering metaphors that carry emotional truth. These dreams are not judgments. They are messages in a language older than speech. Over time, when the waking mind learns to listen and translate, the dreamscapes soften. What was once hidden for protection becomes material for healing. The same mind that buried pain to keep you safe eventually brings it forward with gentle symbolism, inviting integration and peace. Beyond emotion and memory, the subconscious also converses with the immune system. Expectations of safety, trust, and support can shift the body's internal chemistry, lowering stress hormones and allowing repair processes to flourish. Belief does not eliminate microbes or repair tissues directly, yet it changes the environment in which healing unfolds. When the hidden mind senses hope, it relaxes emergency responses, freeing energy for restoration. Chronic fear, by contrast, keeps defenses on constant alert, which over time can exhaust the very systems meant to protect. This is not a call for self-blame, but an invitation to recognize the deep dialogue between mind and body. Rituals of care, soothing relationships, familiar routines, all teach the subconscious that help is present, allowing the immune system to work not as a besieged fortress, but as a quiet workshop restoring balance. The hidden mind also perceives beauty before the conscious mind can explain it. Symmetry, balanced faces, mirrored patterns, orderly structures is detected in fractions of a second. Specialized circuits measure spacing and alignment, delivering an immediate sense of harmony. Long ago, symmetry signaled health and stability. Today, it still evokes pleasure in art, architecture, and nature. A perfectly balanced leaf, a symmetrical shell, a carefully designed building, all resonate with this ancient preference. Yet slight imperfections often deepen fascination, creating tension that invites attention. The subconscious notices the rule, feels the exception, and draws the conscious mind closer, as if whispering, "Look again." Even when you are not paying attention, the hidden mind scans the world for motion. A subtle shift in shadow, a whisper of movement at the edge of vision, a faint change in sound. These cues trigger a quiet alert. The feeling that someone entered the room, the instinct to turn just before you see them, the sudden glance toward a moving object. These are summaries delivered by subconscious surveillance. Millions of years ago, such sensitivity meant survival among predators and shifting landscapes. Today, it helps you navigate streets, crowds, and daily life. Sometimes it raises false alarms, but a quick glance costs little compared to missing something important. What feels like intuition is often compressed data, distilled into a gentle nudge. Something changed. Deep within, the subconscious also learns patterns without awareness. This implicit learning allows you to sense structure without being able to describe it. Children absorb grammar rules long before they can explain them. Musicians anticipate chord progressions without formal theory. Drivers read traffic flow without calculating probabilities. The hidden mind tallies frequencies, smooths irregularities, and builds expectations quietly. Over time, fluency emerges as ease, the right word, the right move, the right note arriving effortlessly. Conscious study can guide this process, but the deepest mastery arises when the subconscious has practiced in silence, weaving patterns into intuition. To protect focus, the subconscious acts as a vigilant gatekeeper of attention. While you read or listen, it dims irrelevant sounds, softens peripheral motion, and quiets stray thoughts. This gate is flexible, alerting you instantly to danger or significance, yet maintaining calm when all is well. Rituals, familiar environments, and gentle routines strengthen this filtering, teaching the hidden mind when to hold steady. Stress, by contrast, loosens the gate, allowing distractions to flood awareness. A quiet breath, a short walk, a moment of stillness can reset this system, restoring clarity. Focus, then, is not just an act of will, but a collaboration with an unseen partner that quietly curates reality. And even language itself is shaped beneath awareness. Before words reach your lips, the subconscious sifts through countless possibilities, selecting tone, rhythm, and phrasing in a fraction of a second. Conversations flow not because the conscious mind calculates every sentence, but because the hidden mind assembles meaning with extraordinary speed. In this way, speech becomes another quiet collaboration between layers of mind, a gentle surfacing of decisions made in silence. Through all these processes, the subconscious remains a vast, patient presence, filtering, predicting, remembering, learning, protecting. It is an ancient intelligence shaped by evolution, refined by experience, and intertwined with every sensation you perceive. As you listen now, breathing softly in the quiet, this hidden companion continues its work, guiding perception, shaping time, and weaving the long, unbroken thread between your inner life and the deep, unfolding story of the universe. Sleep paralysis sits at the border where conscious awareness wakes before the subconscious has released its hold on the body. During normal sleep, the hidden mind switches off major muscle groups to keep dreams from being acted out. In paralysis, that safety lock remains engaged for a few moments while consciousness surfaces. The result can be startling. Eyes open, mind alert, body immobile. Hallucinations sometimes accompany it. Shadows, pressure on the chest, a sense of presence, because dream imagery is still leaking through. Across cultures, these experiences have been given mythic explanations, yet neuroscience points to a simple overlap of systems briefly out of sync. Understanding this can soften fear. Slow breathing, focusing on small movements like toes or tongue, often helps the subconscious release its grip. What feels like a threat is usually a timing error, a reminder of how powerful and protective the hidden mind can be, even when its safeguards linger a moment too long. The subconscious also calibrates how effort feels. Two tasks of equal difficulty can feel wildly different depending on expectation, mood, and prior success. When the hidden mind predicts progress, effort feels lighter. When it predicts failure, the same steps feel heavy. This is why beginnings matter. Early wins teach the subconscious that a task is tractable, lowering friction for what follows. Designers of learning and habit change leverage this by breaking goals into visible milestones. Each small success updates the forecast. Over time, the body leans in instead of bracing. Motivation, in this sense, is not a pep talk. It is a prediction quietly revised by experience. Moral intuitions often arise subconsciously as well. Before you can articulate why something feels right or wrong, the hidden mind has already registered harm, fairness, loyalty, or care. These intuitions are shaped by upbringing, culture, and repeated social feedback. Conscious reasoning can refine them, sometimes overturn them, but the first signal is fast and felt. This is why ethical debates can feel heated. People are defending intuitions they did not choose. Progress comes from slowing the exchange long enough for awareness to meet instinct, to ask where a feeling came from and whether it still serves. The subconscious provides the spark. Consciousness can build the lantern. Even humor depends on this partnership. A joke lands when the subconscious predicts one outcome and is then surprised by another. Timing, tone, and shared assumptions do most of the work before you decide to laugh. This is why jokes fall flat when the audience differs. The hidden mind did not share the same setup. Laughter is the body's signal that expectations were artfully bent, not broken. Trust, too, is assembled below awareness. Consistency of behavior, warmth of tone, reliable follow-through, these cues accumulate quietly. One grand promise rarely outweighs many small confirmations. The subconscious keeps score, updating its model of who is safe and who is not. When trust is broken, logic alone struggles to repair it. The hidden mind needs new patterns, repeated over time, to revise its ledger. Apologies help when they are paired with changed behavior, because repetition, not explanation, is the language trust understands. As technology enters daily life, the subconscious adapts there as well. Notification chimes, vibration patterns, and interface colors become conditioned signals. A single buzz can spike attention because the hidden mind has learned it might matter. This is useful until it isn't. Constant alerts train the system to remain on edge. Gentle boundaries, quiet modes, and predictable windows of use retrain it toward calm. Attention is not just managed by apps. It is negotiated with the unseen partner that decides what deserves urgency. Across all these domains, language, intuition, hunger, fear, learning, sleep, the same pattern holds. The subconscious is not irrational. It is efficient, fast, and shaped by experience. It protects, predicts, and prepares. When it errs, it is usually because it learned the wrong lesson too well, or has not yet been shown a better one. Change then is a dialogue. Show it safety. Give it repetition. Pair insight with experience. Over time, the hidden mind listens. And as it listens, life feels smoother. Words arrive on time. Choices feel grounded. The body cooperates. This is not control over the subconscious, but collaboration with it, a steady rhythm between awareness and depth. Beneath every deliberate thought, a quieter intelligence keeps watch, learning from each moment, readying the next. During dreaming, the brain gently disconnects most voluntary muscles, creating a quiet stillness that protects the body from acting out imagined worlds. This temporary paralysis is not a malfunction, but a safeguard, a silent guardian that keeps the dreamer safe while the mind travels freely. Yet sometimes the timing slips. Awareness returns before the body is released. You awaken, eyes open, thoughts clear but movement locked. This is sleep paralysis, a liminal state where the borders between dreaming and waking dissolve. The chest may feel heavy, the air thick, and shapes or shadows may seem to gather at the edge of vision. For centuries, cultures around the world gave these experiences names: night spirits, shadow visitors, unseen watchers. But neuroscience reveals a simpler truth. It is REM sleep overlapping with consciousness, the subconscious still painting vivid imagery while the body remains in protective stillness. Understanding this mechanism can soften fear. Regular sleep rhythms, gentle nighttime routines, and reduced stress help align the brain's switches. And when paralysis does happen, focusing on slow exhalations on the smallest movements, a fingertip, a toe, reminds the hidden mind that the state is temporary. It always passes. The same system that protects you in dreams simply needs a moment longer to return control. The subconscious also speaks through sudden chills. A shiver rippling down the spine can be the body's exclamation mark. A dark hallway, a haunting melody, a sentence that lands with unexpected truth. These moments are evaluated instantly by the hidden mind. Blood vessels tighten, tiny muscles pull at hair follicles, and the skin tingles with electric awareness. Fear can trigger this response, but so can awe, grief, or profound beauty. You might say, "That gave me chills," before understanding why. These sensations are signals. Something meaningful passed through your awareness, and the subconscious marked it. A brief icy signature, etched across the skin, asking the conscious mind to pause and notice. Beneath every perception, the subconscious is constantly comparing the present with the past. It holds templates of voices, faces, scents, and spaces, matching new experiences against old memories in an instant. A kind tone recalls a beloved teacher. A harsh word echoes an old supervisor. The scent of grass opens a door to childhood summers. When a match feels safe, calm spreads before you can think. When danger is suggested, tension rises just as quickly. This system is efficient, but it can trap the present in the shadows of yesterday. The path to change begins with recognition. This feels familiar, but it is not the same. New experiences that contradict old patterns teach the hidden mind to update its models. Over time, the present becomes free to be present, no longer filtered through outdated echoes. The subconscious never stops learning. Even when attention drifts, even when sleep arrives, learning continues quietly in the background. During walks, showers, and moments of stillness, the hidden mind recombines ideas, forming insights that surface as sudden clarity. During sleep, it strengthens memories, rehearses skills, and stabilizes knowledge, so tomorrow feels easier than today. Exposure accumulates silently. Languages become familiar, music becomes intuitive, skills become fluid. Stepping away from a problem often helps because it gives the subconscious room to work without pressure. When it feels safe, it explores freely. When it feels chased, it retreats into habit. Given time, kindness, and structure, it returns insight that feels like magic, but is simply you, still learning in silence. And so, we arrive at the end of this quiet journey into the subconscious mind. We have wandered through hidden memories, silent bodily rhythms, and the subtle intuitions that guide your decisions every day. All of it working beneath awareness, guiding you through each moment without asking for attention. As you rest now, remember that your subconscious is still awake. It is balancing your body, storing today's experiences, and preparing tomorrow's understanding. You do not need to direct it. You do not need to watch it. The hidden mind handles the details, so the conscious mind can finally let go. If you are still awake, you are welcome to stay with us a little longer and let the next video carry you deeper into calm discovery. But if your eyes are heavy, let them close. The subconscious will continue its quiet work faithfully while you drift into sleep. Sweet dreams. Good night.